What's up, MMA fans watching around the world, and welcome to JM Octagon, where we talk about everything mixed martial arts. Now, did Jon Jones ruin light heavyweight division? Did Jones ruin light heavyweight division? That is the big question that everybody has been asking me on social media. Well, the answer is maybe he did. Maybe he did. But let's see. So, why is everybody saying that Jon Jones ruined light heavyweight division? It's probably because he's the longest ruling champion to ever dominate a division and hold it basically captive. Everybody else had to fight, with intentions to beat Jon Jones in the entire division, from unranked opponents all the way to the number one champion. DC tried it twice. But let's first see what Jon Jones' records look like before he even became a champion. His very first UFC fight in history, he fought against Andre Guzman, a fight that he won by unanimous decision. And that was an interesting fight. And, as a newcomer, people still didn't really think that he was, a worthy opponent to, fight with some of the big dogs, some of the top dogs in the division. And then he comes and beats Stephen Bonner. And man, people were like, whoa, who is this kid? Who is this guy? That was back in 2009. His first fight was, of course, in 2008. I think it was in August of 2008. So he's been in the industry for quite some time. From 2008, he's been tearing the division, light heavyweight division, up to basically now that he's moved to heavyweight, which we haven't seen him fight in. So technically everything we are talking about still is based on light heavyweight performance. So he beats likes of Ryan Bader, Vladimir, he beats Mauricio Hua, Quinton Jackson, and that is now, he's defending his belt now against Shogun Hua. He won his first belt, UFC belt, against Shogun Hua, and it was by KO. He throw a knee. He finished him by knee, which was insane. So everybody's like, whoa, hold on here. And by then he was like in his early 20s, like the youngest ever champion UFC to see. That was Jon Jones. Now, from that moment when he fought for belt and won against Mauricio Shogun Hua, to date, everybody in the division has been trying, including people wanting to move from other weight classes just to beat Jon Jones. Even to date, including likes of Adesanya, which is insane. And he basically set a pace that nobody else has ever set in this weight class. So he goes into Rampage and beats Quinton Rampage. He beats Machida, choked him out. He beats Rashad Evans, Vitor Belfort, Charles Sonnen, Gustafsson, and the list goes on and on. Beat DC twice, and even DC recognized him as one of the baddest and the best in the weight class that DC was fighting in. And I remember by quoting DC's words, he said that, somebody beats you twice. I remember this interview very clearly after their fight. It's like, somebody beats you twice, then you have no choice but to say that he is the greatest. So Jon Jones definitely is the greatest. Now, this is why people are saying that he destroyed UFC. The weight class. Everyone, including the newcomers in the UFC, were trying to fight in a way that was going to beat DC. Look at the likes of Johnny Walker. The way he was training, the way he was fighting, his fighting style, you can easily tell that he was training to be the champion. And by being the champion, you have to replace a champion, which was Jon Jones. But everybody in the roster tried, and nobody was successful. The closest arguable evidences that we can easily see were big, tough fights for him was Alexander Gustafsson in their first fight. Thiago Santos and Dominic Reyes. Those two. Those three. Those three were the toughest. DC, he beat DC twice. And one of course was a no contest. But it's arguable. Everybody was trying. Everybody was training. Everybody was to a point where it almost became pointless for fighters to fight within the division because everybody was training to beat Jon Jones. But like it is always with every with every weight class, to get a rank, to be ranked, you have to beat a ranked opponent, and then you climb your ladder up that way. So these people were even almost non-performing because they were basically training almost the same thing with intentions of beating Jon Jones. So this is the reason why people are saying that Jon Jones, destroyed the division. And again, he literally destroyed it by, destroying every opponent that was placed in front of him. But also from financial point of view, from fighting point of view, we can say that he actually destroyed it because everybody in the roster wanted to fight to beat him, and nobody was successful, at least on paper. Stylistically, skill-wise, experience-wise, and some of the Octagon performances can be debated. Of course, I said fight against Dominic Reyes, fight against Thiago Santos. Those were Gustafsson. Those are some of the toughest fights that Jon Jones can arguably say that he lost. But he won by unanimous decision and, split decisions, unanimous decision. So some of these things are, debatable. Comes back and beats Alexander Gustafsson. A very, very interesting fight. So as much as we don't like the guy, as much as he destroyed the division, he actually made it better because, if there was only one yardstick that everybody was trying to match and nobody did, I think it is now the best time that he moves and leaves that that division blank, so that we can see how other people perform in that weight class. And of course, we've been seeing likes of Jiri Prohaska, Rakic. These guys are coming and putting on a show, which is amazing because there's no one person that is holding the division hostage. Beautiful to see. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to hear your thoughts. Do you believe that Jon Jones destroyed light heavyweight division, or did he make it better? Please leave your comment down below. I'll be interested in reading them out in my next video. If there's one fighter that you'd like me to analyze, I'll be glad to do so. Without a doubt, let me say, have yourself a wonderful time.